Hi guys, welcome to Storytime with Candace and Alyssa. Alright, so today we are talking about patience. Do you guys know what patience is? I think patience is waiting with a cheerful and calm heart. Patience is being able to wait to do things instead of doing what we want to do right now. Patience is giving grace to others, even people that aren't easy to get along with, and loving them even when they make mistakes. So this week, we are going to practice being patient and waiting cheerfully with God's help. Do you guys remember our fruit of the Spirit verse? Let's say it together. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. Galatians 5:22 and 23. Let's do it again. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. Galatians 5:22 and 23. Excellent. Good work, guys. Okay, so today's Bible story has to do with a couple who was very, very patient. In fact, they waited 10 years for God's promise. That is a really, really long time. Some of you aren't even 10 years old yet. Could you imagine waiting your entire life for something to happen? Let's watch and find out what happens.
God was ready to do something different. He was going to make all the wrong things right, and he was going to do it through a family. Abraham, God said, how many stars are there? God was about to tell his friend a wonderful secret. Let me see, Abraham said, rolling up his sleeves. But have you ever tried counting the stars? Then you know how hard it is. 993, 994, 997. Uh-oh. No, wait. 1, 2. Of course he kept losing count. Too many, he said. Guess what? God laughed. I will give you so many children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, you won't be able to count them either. Abraham couldn't help giggling at such a wonderful idea, but he stopped himself. How could he have a family? Don't be silly. He didn't have any children, let alone grandchildren. He wiped away a tear. Anyway, it was far too late for him to start having babies at his age. He was 99 years old. What could God mean? Abraham, God said, believe me. And then God told Abraham his secret rescue plan. Abraham, I will make your family very big, God promised, until one day your family will count to number more than even all the stars in the sky. Abraham looked up at the dark night sky, thick with stars. You will be my special family, my people, and through everyone on earth will be blessed. It was an incredible promise. God was going to rescue the world through Abraham's family. One of his great-great-great-grandchildren would be the child, the promised one, the rescuer. But it's too wonderful, Abraham said. How can it be true? Is anything too good to be true? God asked. Is anything too wonderful for me? So Abraham trusted what God said more than what his eyes could see, and he believed. Now, when Sarah heard God's promise, she just laughed to herself. But it wasn't a happy laugh, it had tears in it. She always wanted a baby. Could her dream come true? Could she really have a baby when she was 90 years old? No, of course not. Don't be silly. It was far too late. Sarah didn't believe God could do what he promised. She had forgotten that when God says something, it's as good as done. Of course, it was as easy for God to give her a baby son as it was for him to make all the stars in the sky. Sure enough, 9 months later, just as God had promised, Sarah gave birth to a baby boy. They named him Isaac, which means son of laughter. And Sarah laughed, but this time it was a glorious, happy laugh. Her dream had come true. God would do as he promised. He would always look after Abraham's family, his special people. And one day God would send another baby, a baby promised to a girl who didn't even have a husband. But this baby would bring laughter to the whole world. This baby would be everyone's dream come true.
Hey guys, welcome to Craft Time with Candace and Alyssa. So today we're learning about patience, and one thing that you have to use a lot of patience for is getting something in the mail. Have you ever gotten a letter or a magazine, or have you waited for a package in the mail and you have to wait until it comes? There's nothing you can do about it. You just have to wait for it. So with Valentine's Day being a couple weeks away, I've decided that I'm going to make a card for my mom who lives in North Dakota, and I am going to mail it to her in the mail for Valentine's Day. So I'm going to make her something for Valentine's Day. So let's get started. All right, so I've decided that I'm going to do a little watercolor painting for my mom to put on the card. And I've decided to do a painting of a butterfly. You know, I think butterflies must be very patient insects because they have to start out as a caterpillar, then they have to live in a cocoon and wait, but then they get to come out as a beautiful butterfly, one of God's coolest creations, I think. So I'm going to make a butterfly on my card. Now I haven't watercolor painted for a while, so this might be a little rusty, but we'll give it a try. So I'm just going to use, I have a calligraphy pen that I'm going to use to draw the body of the butterfly, and then I'm going to paint the wings. So I'm just going to make a little black head. Now, if you guys decide to make a card or a letter, you can do it however you want. If you want to color or use markers, you do it however you like to. All right, and then we're just going to make a little butterfly body here. Fill it in a little bit. And then, of course, our butterflies need some antennas. A couple little thin antennas. That's showing up on there okay? A little bit. And then I think it'd be kind of fun. I saw this on Pinterest. I'm going to just write the word love at the end of our butterfly because it's Valentine's Day. That's what the card is going to be for. Aww. See? Now that's going to be the body of my butterfly that says love. Now, one of the cool things about watercolor is you get to make all kinds of different colors. So what you can't see is I have 1 cup of water that's clean water, and then there's 1 cup of water that's for dirty water. And I want to try to make kind of like a purpley blue. My mom's favorite color is blue. So I'm just going to start mixing some blue in my cup here in my plate. But I don't want it to be this bright of a blue. I want it to be more of like a darker kind of purpley blue. So I'm going to wash all of that color off my brush, get some new clean water, and then I'm going to put in some of this purple. Ah, there we go. That's more the color I was thinking. Kind of more of a darker purpley blue. And now I'm just going to try to paint on some simple wings. Now, watercolor painting is actually something that takes a lot of patience because if you want to kind of get the right effect, you need to wait until one layer is dry before you move on to the next layer. And I find it very relaxing, and I don't know why I don't get it out to do it more. I just don't take that much time to do it. So, there, I kind of like how those wings look. Now, that's just kind of all one color. But I would like to get some more colors in there, so I'm going to clean my brush off again And then I think I'm going to take some of that blue. See how blue that is. Yeah. We're going to put on some of that blue just kind of right here. Give it a little bit more dimension. Kind of right there against his body. Maybe we'll put a little spot of blue up here. Now I can tell this isn't going to be quite wet enough because I would like this to bleed a little bit more than it does. But let me tell you something cool about watercolor painting is it's very forgiving. All I need to do is wash off my brush, give it a little wipe. Gonna just get some plain clean water, and then I'm just gonna spread this out a little bit. There we go. There. And then that'll make it a little more smooth and a little more interesting. Now I'm gonna let that dry. I think I'm gonna end up adding a little bit more just to make it a little smoother. It's got a little, see, this got a little more blue up here than I wanted. See on the top there? I mean, it looks pretty good, but there's a little more blue up here than I wanted. And this is what's so cool about watercolor paints. I don't want all that blue up there. It's still wet. I can use my tissue and I can just like dab it off. There we go. So now I'm just going to take a little bit more of that purple I had. I'm just going to add some of that back in. Ah, I like that better. Yeah, that's more what I was thinking. And now I got a silly line there. So now I'm just going to put on some clean water just to smooth that out again. There we go. Oh, and now I'm getting some of those bleed marks that I wanted because that's what I like about watercolors. I think it's neat. There. That looks pretty good, hey? So that's the butterfly. Now I need to let that dry all the way. And then I have this little blue greeting card, and I'm gonna glue this just right on top to send to her.
All right, I have a lesson in patience for you guys tonight. So I have a bag of Skittles, yum, and I can't wait to eat them. But do you know what? I am going to have to wait for my timer to be done before I can even open the bag. Oh no! All right, are you guys gonna wait with me for my Skittles? Ready? Let's flip this over. It's gonna be so worth it. But do you know what? It's almost time to brush my teeth, so I can't eat them yet either. I'm gonna have to be patient and save them for later in the day. This is hard work being patient, but do you know what? In the end, it is going to pay off and I can enjoy my Skittles. All right, hope you guys have fun.
Hey guys, welcome to snack time. So today we are going to make some chocolate chip oatmeal cookies. So let's get started. All right. So the first ingredient we're going to throw into the bowl is a 1/2 cup of margarine. And I just took that out of the fridge, so I'm just going to mix it up a little bit so it's a little bit softer. And then we're going to add 1 cup of brown sugar. Oh yeah. That's what I like to hear about. Good stuff. So there's 1/2 cup, so I need 2 of those. There's 1 cup of brown sugar. And then I need to put in a 1/2 cup of white sugar. There's a 1/2 cup of white sugar. And then we need to put in 1 teaspoon baking powder. 1 teaspoon of that. And then a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And I'm just going to kind of estimate with my, yeah, pretty close. 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And then we're going to let this mix up. There it goes. Get that all mixed up. Scrape it down a little bit. And then we need to add in 2 eggs. Crickety crack 1. Crickety crack 2. Eggs, and then 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And we're gonna mix in the wet ingredients. Mix, mix, mix. Maybe we need a mixing dance. We'll get that all mixed up. I'm just going to take a second to scrape this down. And after we have the wet ingredients in, we are going to put in 1 3/4 cup of flour. Here's 1. We'll just kind of estimate with our cup again. That's about 3/4. That should be pretty close to about 3/4. Just gonna get a little messy. Start slow. There it goes. I've made that mistake before. If you're not patient, you'll end up with flour all over the house. If you go too fast too soon. And then we have to put in 2 cups of oats. 1, 2, and we stir that in. I didn't have very many chocolate chips. So I'm going to use chocolate chips and butterscotch chips in mine. All right, and we're going to put in some chocolate chips. Not all the chocolate chips I had, not really enough. So I'm going to put in some butterscotch ones too. And I've never been much for measuring those. I just put in how much I think I want. I know what got mixed up. All right. And then you just need to drop them on your baking sheet, and then we bake them at 375 for 10 to 12 minutes, and we'll see how they come out. All right, I'll see you on the other side. All right, so now that I got my cookies put onto my pan, I am gonna put them in the oven for about 10 minutes. That's not so long, hey? I think we can wait. We can be patient, and we will wait very patiently for our cookies. Finally, our timer went off and the cookies are ready. So let's pull them out. That looks good, eh? I think if I tried to eat one of those cookies right now, those chocolate chips would be like molten lava and burn my tongue. So I'm gonna be more patient and wait for them to cool. All right, and there we have it. Look, I got my cookies and I got myself a cup of milk, and I'm going to enjoy them. Wasn't I just so patient waiting for my cookies? I did a really great job waiting for those, I think. You guys have fun making your snack. All right, guys, it's time for our fruit in action. So this week, you're just gonna think about some different ways that you can try to be patient. Maybe you could put together a big puzzle. Puzzles take a lot of patience. Sometimes you even have to leave them and come back to them. It takes a lot of patience to put a big puzzle together. Maybe you want to bake something like we baked cookies today. Or maybe you can give a friend or a sibling an extra dose of grace when they mess up or hurt your feelings or do something wrong. You might give them a hug or use some really nice words to tell them that you forgive them and that you have grace for them. See what you can think of and let us know how it goes. All right, guys, we'll see you next week.